What's good, everyone? Welcome back to Cleveland Sports Unfiltered. So the Cavaliers fall to the Detroit Pistons by the final score 101 to 111. I do think the Pistons came out strong in that first quarter. That's where really they hurt the Cavs the most is in the first quarter. They scored a big 37 points, but you know, they came out like as they should, the home team with the crowd behind them, juiced up with the extra effort. And not saying the Cavs didn't match, but it could have been better from a effort and intensity standpoint. But after the first quarter, I really think they buckled down on defense and really got more stops. But in that first quarter, not saying they played bad defense, they didn't. It was just they Detroit made tough shots. That's what it boils down to in that first quarter. Detroit just made some tough shots, and I like that the Cavs didn't let that frustrate them and get them out of their defensive principles because they stuck to the defensive game plan, and I think they did a really good job on Cade. But especially after that first quarter when they scored 37, buckled down on defense and was much better throughout the rest of the game. And Detroit only scored 22 in the second, 24 in the third, and 28 in the fourth. You know, that's you can live with those. You can live with those. Cade didn't really kill you how Cade usually does. Cade, what did Cade have? Cade had 23 points on 19, on 6 and 19 shooting, 2 of 5 from three. He did get to the line 11 times though. So that's where most of his points came from was the line. And I think that Wade, Struess, Tyson, all of them did a phenomenal job, especially with the caliber of player that he is and the caliber of scorer that he is to hold him 6 and 19. That's a phenomenal job. But it's the others. It's the others that kind of got the Cavs. Duncan Robertson, 7 of 12, 5 of 8 from three. You gotta defend him better. Some of the dare you. He's one of the few guys you can. I'll dare you to shoot it. That's been always my issue with the Cavs this entire season. Is the always daring players to make threes. Okay, against Toronto, some of those guys you can dare to make threes. And some of these guys on Detroit, you can dare to make threes. Not Duncan Robinson. Not Duncan Robinson. I thought some of the closeouts on him was lackluster, and most of those closeouts was James Harden. Buddy, you got to give a better defensive closeout effort on the threes against him, man. And even make it tougher. Make it tougher. Some of the shots he took and made, the most his made shots wasn't tough. You got to make it tough for him, James. If you're gonna guard him, you gotta guard him and force him to take tough shots. You gonna tip it. He's gonna make tough threes. He's a good 3-point shooter. He's gonna make some tough threes, but you gotta make it tougher on him because we're trying to hide you in a defensive rotation and keep you on him. You gotta hold him. You can't give up 19 points to him. So I think we can definitely do a better job on the three ball side of defending their best 3-point shooter because outside of him, everybody else was not really good. Tobias Harris 1 of 5, Kay Cunningham 2 of 5. Who was Rondell Hollins, Rondell Holland, Rondell Holland the second. You 1 of 2. Jalen is that Javante Green 1 of 3. Then you got Jenkins. Jenkins was 0 of 3, which was odd for him because he's an actual decent shooter, especially when he gets hot. He's a streaky shooter. He's a streaky shooter. But, Duran didn't kill you on the boards. He had 12 boards. He was 4 of 11. Duran didn't kill you. I think Evan and Jared did a good job on him. And I do a little. didn't like the officiating at times, but the Cavs got 20 foul calls on them, and the Pistons had 18 altogether. So I'm not gonna sit and say that's why we lost. It was the first quarter why we lost, like the first quarter, and them making all them tough shots and the uh, the lackluster closeout on the threes, and really, again, just came down to the tough shot making in that first quarter. But that's I feel where we lost it. Not saying we lost it because of that, because they came out with their hair on fire, and it's just one game. So again, this is not a overreaction video. It's a fill out game. It's a fill out game. I think the Cavs know what the know a little bit more what the Detroit Pistons wants to do, and if the Pistons they're going to have a cold shooting night. So I think this is going to be a 7-game series. Like I said, I think the Cavs are going to win in 7. So it's going to be a tough, hard fought series. But if you can get one on the road, if you can get game 2 on the road, I might rethink the Cavs in 6. I mean 7, and might go 6. But again, you know, not a good particular night from anybody especially on the efficiency side for most of our guys. Like Dean Wade, 2 or 3, 5 points. Again. You always want more from Dean. You always want more from Dean. I wonder what the hell went on with Sam. Sam only played 7 minutes. Didn't take any shots. Um, maybe I missed Sam got hurt or something. But Donovan Mitchell, he came out aggressive. I think he scored 14 points in the first half. And he came out aggressive, looking for his shot. Toronto, I mean, Detroit defends way different than Toronto. They just trust their guys to go one. They'll have Durr in the same drop coverage, to deter Donovan and James from getting to the basket. Those guys gotta hit their pull-ups, especially you, James. Take your floaters, and too many lackadaisical, nonchalant going to the basket and just silly turnovers and all types of shit that annoyed me from the last series that happened again. It's like, guys, the turnovers. Again, we had 19 turnovers. It's the silly turnovers. It's the turnovers, the lackadaisicalness in your turnovers, the nonchalant in the passing, the nonchalant. Like, the Pistons are going in heads down, looking for contact and looking for the physicality. You guys are going in just lackadaisical. I'm not gonna say you guys. It was James this game, buddy. You gotta do better, man. They had 12 steals. And we had 19 turnovers, and they had 31 points off of our turnovers. Again, points off our turnovers killed us again. And most of that was not saying, when I say most, I don't mean like majority. A good amount of that was in the first quarter. You guys got to stop turning the ball over with these silly turnovers. Stop driving into a crowd and just lackadaisicalness. You're gonna drive into a crowd, seek contact, like they do. They go and seek contact. I'm starting to see why we don't get the benefit of the whistles. Cause like, not saying you soft or anything, but don't just go in there and then just freeze up. Like, you go in there, you stop, you punk fake. If you gonna go in there, if you get your shot blocked, so what? Like, just go in there with a better effort. Like, James, you got a great floater, and they don't know if your floater is a floater or a lob. So you may get an Evan Mobley lob off of some, a floater that you meant to be a floater, but Evan just took it as a lob and he caught it, or Jared took it as a lob. But you got to do better in your turnovers, man. You ever since game 3 of the Toronto series, man, you've been turnover heavy, bro. You got to do better than that, man. But again, and points off turnovers, fast break points, guys got to do better. Points in the paint, dead even. You know, defensive rebounding, we out rebounded them. They only out rebounded us by 5 on the offensive boards. Total rebounds, they only out rebounded us by 4. Free throw percentage, we were way, way better. And again, oh wow. So I was wrong on how many free throws in personal fouls. So they took no personal foul. No, I wasn't wrong. But again, the free throw discrepancy is crazy. It's crazy. Like we got 16. We were 15 and 16. Phenomenal from the free throw line, 93%. But they were 27 of 35. They took 35 free throws. Come on, refs. Come on. And I hate to be the guy complaining about officiating, but when the shit is obvious, the shit is obvious, bro. And it's annoying, bro. It's like, when the fuck are we going to get the benefit of the whistle, man? Now, I get it. We're on the road. They're the number one seed. Of course, they're going to get those calls, and they were aggressive. But the Cavs was just as aggressive and going into the paint too. But like I said, it's because you go in there all nonchalant. That's why you don't get the calls. You got to go in there how they do it. Physical, and they'll reward. You could tell they reward the team who tries to be physical going into the paint. You go in there like how we been going on nonchalant. They're not gonna give you many of the calls. So hopefully, and I'm not saying the officiating was atrocious, but you guys can't keep letting other teams take 30 plus free throws and you only take 16. Like we have to be better. It's on officiating, but we gotta force the officials' hands to call more calls on us when we're going to the basket. Go in there tough, go in there strong. You're gonna get the call every time, no, but you're gonna even out the same amount of calls as they get if you go in there just as aggressive as they did. So again, not overreacting. You just got some concerns, that things that we can clean up. But overall, I think again going to be a 7 game series, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure some of y'all have differences of opinions. Fine, that's perfectly fine. But you know, fill out game one, no overreaction. Let's see what the adjustments that Kenny has, because Detroit offense isn't really hard to figure out, honestly. So I think we can come in and steal game two. That's my prediction for game two. I do think we go in and steal game two. You know, let's just hope we come out with a better first quarter effort and don't go down. 37-20. What was it? 37-21. Then that way we not fighting uphill that rest of the game. But those are just my comments and my thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys smash that subscribe button and notification button for when we drop our videos and shorts. Y'all let me know y'all predictions for game two. Do we come in? Do we steal game two? Do we even up the series? Or do you guys think we come home down 0-2, which isn't too crazy? We can even it up back home. But y'all know what guy I'm about to say. Y'all ain't got to go home. Y'all got to get the fuck up out of here. Until next time, y'all. Peace.